I'm STS-131 Mission Specialist Clay Anderson, and you're watching NASA TV.
Discovery, and a special good morning to Clay.
Hello, Megan. Thank you so much for that beautiful song, The Miracle of Flight. Having been up here a couple times now, it truly is a miracle, from the Wright brothers at Kitty Hawk to the Space Shuttle Discovery and the International Space Station. I don't think there's a better phrase to describe any of this, and I'd like to thank my beautiful wife, Susan, and my son Cole, and my daughter Sutton Marie, and all the folks on the ground for allowing me this wonderful opportunity. Thanks, and good morning, Houston.
Thanks, Clay, and we couldn't agree more.
This is Gina Sinceri, ABC News for Commander Poindexter. It looks like you've got a packed house up there, but this week we're celebrating a lot of anniversaries, and I'm wondering if you would take a minute to reflect on the accomplishments of the space program and kind of your vision of where you would like to see things go in the future.
Gina, thanks for the question. Nice talking to you again today. On April 12th, we celebrated two great anniversaries. The first was with our Russian partners and their anniversary of Yuri Gagarin's launch in 1961. And the second was, of course, the anniversary of the first launch of the space shuttle on April 12, 1981, with Captain John Young and Captain Bob Crippen aboard. I think it's a great way and a great time to reflect on all the accomplishments of both space programs, as well as our international partnership together. As you can see, we have 3 nations represented in this group of 13 astronauts and cosmonauts. And I think it's just great that we're up here on the International Space Station working together with joint research and joint technology programs and doing wonderful work for all of humankind.
Hi, this is Robert Perlman with CollectSpace.com. For Clay Anderson, one of the themes of Apollo 13, which occurred 40 years ago this week, was that the media and public had been mostly turned off to the mission until something went wrong. You and your crewmates have had your share of minor glitches on this flight, which have provided for some headlines here on Earth. But do you feel the public should be more aware of your mission when everything is going nominally?
Well, I think, yes, they should. You know, what we do here is special. What we do here is difficult. And what we do here is a great example of what humans can do if they work hard, if they work smartly, and if they work together. So, yeah, I'd really like to see everybody pay more attention when we're up here, regardless of whether things are going well or whether they're going poorly.
And a question for Dottie Metcalf-Lindenberger. Looking at the photographs when you attended Space Camp and thinking of the campers that have now followed you and are there now, can you give a sense of how real spaceflight compares to what you thought it would be like at age 14? It certainly looks like you're having just as much fun.
Well, when I was at space camp, one of my simulations was to be in the lab, and it was more of a space hab on the shuttle. But I have actually had a chance to go throughout ISS and see the experiments that are going on. Our flight, we don't have time to participate in the experiments. That's what the ISS crew is for. But this is what I would have imagined as a 14-year-old that a space lab looked like. And the shuttle ride was very exciting, nothing that I could quite ever imagine. But I hope that all students out there, whether you're attending space camp or not, are interested in pursuing their passions.
Marcia Dunn of the Associated Press. Probably for Commander Poindexter. I'm wondering if you have any plans or hopes of listening in real time to the presidential space policy speech that will be going on at Kennedy Space Center tomorrow afternoon. You'll still be up. It'll be close to bedtime, but I didn't know if Mission Control is going to try to accommodate you. And do you feel a little removed being up there and missing all the space goings on down here with the new policies being announced?
Well, that's a good question. We're real busy, as you know, on orbit with our transfer operations, and tomorrow is a big day where we put the MPLM back in the payload bay. We're keeping abreast of all current news. The Mission Control Center sends us news every day. Here on Space Station, they have a lot of assets that allow us to get current news. So, yeah, we're staying abreast of most of the current news. And as far as real time, I don't know of any plans to tie us in for that at all.
Thank you. And question for any or all of the 4 upside down women. You look upside down from this point of view anyway. How is it having a crowd of 4 women in space all together at the same time? What does it say for woman power?
Well, it's certainly a pleasure to be part of a mission with 2 additional women, or 3 total women on the shuttle, and joining Tracy Caldwell on the space station for 4 women in space total. And it really is a testament to the hard work of women. We've had the benefit of the mentorship of many women in the astronaut office, now reaching over having 50 women in space, and really is a testament to the hard work and accomplishments of women. And we hope to inspire young women to follow in our footsteps and to pursue their dreams.
Have there been any advantages that you can see of having so many women on space for this flight?
Well, due to discipline and background, we each bring a unique perspective and a different look perhaps at procedures or at activities. And so we really just believe that we bring an additional aspect to the mission. And it's just nice to be able to share this experience actually with all of the crew members, both the shuttle and the space station.
Thank you. And final question from here at the Kennedy Space Center for either Clay Anderson or Rick Mastracchio. You had to struggle so much with those bolts over the last 3 spacewalks. You must be pretty tuckered out. How tiring was it? How tired are you today? And do you really need this day off?
Well, it may have seemed like we're working hard, but actually as we were struggling with those bolts, we were just doing a lot more thinking than we were actually working. As we worked with Mission Control and the folks inside the space station with Dottie and the robotics folks to try to figure out a plan to get that tank in place. So it really physically wasn't too difficult. And today, Clay and I feel fine, and if necessary, we'll go out for future spacewalks, but hopefully none of those will be required. And we're enjoying our day off, or will after this, and we're looking forward to more work and returning home shortly.
It's Joe Matthew from Sirius XM Satellite Radio. Question for Captain Poindexter. With only 3 missions left, I just wonder what your feelings are, what kind of emotions you're feeling knowing that this will be your final shuttle mission and the program is winding down.
Thanks for your question. I think all of us feel really, really lucky to be here. Very honored and very proud to represent our countries. And I think it's just a lucky experience that I wish more people could have. I feel really honored to be a part of the shuttle program and the legacy that the shuttle has brought. And we all hate to see it go, but as programs age and as vehicles age, it comes time to say goodbye to those and look forward to others. And it's time to celebrate all of the accomplishments that the shuttle program has brought over the last 29 years.
Oh, hello. This is Nell Greenfield-Boyce with National Public Radio. This is for the American residents of the station. Do you feel there's any need for more crew emergency escape spacecraft on station when the shuttle is not docked?
Actually, we have quite a bit of confidence in the Soyuz that brought us here, and there is enough room in each Soyuz to bring us home in case of emergency. So I think the one thing that we'll miss the most about the shuttle is, of course, the magnificent vehicle that it is, but the payload power that it has to bring up necessary supplies and spares, and that will be one of the most crucial things that we'll miss with having only Soyuz vehicles attached. But as far as our safety goes and our confidence in needing to evacuate in case of an emergency, I think all of us here and those on the ground feel very confident with the vehicles that we do have.
You all. This is Stacy Bivens with Russia Today. I'm wondering, how does it feel emotionally to be in space, living in zero gravity, and seeing the world in a perspective that most of us will never get to see? Now, TJ, this is your first mission. Are you mesmerized when you look out and see the Earth? And Oleg and Sayuchi, this is your second mission. How does it compare to your first?
The first thing I can share with you is that living in space is a wonderful experience. As a kid, you sometimes dream about flying and floating and all that kind of stuff. We're actually living that experience now. You've asked a very insightful question about looking out and seeing the world. It is breathtaking. The cupola windows provide you a vista that absolutely stops what you're doing sometimes. I was working out on the weightlifting device that we use, and while I was doing that, looking through the window, and we passed over Chicago in a skyless, cloudless night, and it was so stunning I had to stop and just go take a look. It is spectacular.
Okay, and also, Tracy, I understand that one of your hobbies is singing. How does being in space affect your vocal range? Would it be possible for us to get a la 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 from you?
Oh, no chance of that. One of my singing buddies is actually here with me in the front row, and when all the cameras are turned off and we get a moment of off duty, she and I plan to crank up the tunes and do a little singing for our Max Q buddies back home. But there really hasn't been a whole lot of opportunity to do much singing up here since I got here. It's been full of adaptation and getting prepared for this crew to arrive.
Hello, Ekaterina Reshkina Korolov, City Television. The question to Olikotov, you have received new crew members on board, and did it change the process of work and life on board of the ISS? It's a very interesting question. Our schedule and procedures did change with the shuttle arrival because we have changed the work and rest schedule, shifting it to accommodate shuttle. We are also participating in shuttle activities, helping accomplish their tasks. We're working as one crew. It's quite intense, and we're glad to have the opportunity to have this afternoon off. We're going to spend it showing off the station to our guests. Thank you for the question. I would like to ask the second question to the entire Russian crew. Are you going to test interplanetary technologies on board of the ISS during this mission? I hope there will be tests, but I don't think it will happen during our mission, but I would like to see it start someday because it is very interesting. The ISS is a unique technological test base for future space exploration by the humankind.
朝日新聞の山本です。 Asahi Shimbun. I have a question to Ms. Yamazaki. Before becoming an astronaut, you got involved in the keyboard development yourself. What was your thought about looking at it in the space? What did you think when you walk into it?
はい。今私たちはまさにこの希望の中にいます。
We are in the Kibo,
踏み入れた時
and
に
the first time I walked into Kibo,
試験をしていたあの希望が今ここに本当
I
に宇宙に浮いている
realized that Kibo was in the space. Actually, it was really moving in the Earth. Kibo was cherished and handled very carefully, and there are a lot of experience and experiment, and then Kibo is really used.
そしてこの希望に
And also,
足を踏み入れることができて本当に
I am very, very happy that I was able to walk into Kibo. My name is Obara from NHK, and this question to Ms. Yamazaki too. And we saw you working very hard in the space. How do you evaluate your job in this mission? What score do you give to yourself? For what reason? And when did you realize the most about the last Japanese shuttle mission?
Well, maybe for the first question, I'd like the commander to, evaluate my work in space. But so far, I think it goes well. And thanks to all the team and all the teamwork on the shuttle and both on the station, the works are going well on time. Today we finished all the MPLM supply and return items. It's a great celebration, and 3 EVAs, and it's a great work.
My name is Kikuchi from the Kyodo News Agency. The day before yesterday, you had communication with Minister Maihara and other children, and you expressed the haiku and the earth flower are the children of the universe. And I heard that you were looking up the sky and the space since your childhood. After you came to the space, were there any change in your view of nature, life, and the way of thinking in general?
はい、そうですね。
Yes.
小学校の時にまさに
When I was elementary school,
私たちの体を作っている成分が同じだ。
I heard that the element consisting the earth or the universe and ourselves are the same. So it was a touching moment too. And when I came to the universe, I really realized that we are actually the part of the universe. I do not know how to express the view of the nature and the life, but the earth from the space was so touching and beautiful and spectacular. And I also thought that the ability or the potential of the human power is superb. It involved 10,000 or more people got involved in this exploration. The teamwork was beautiful. My name is Kikuchi from Kyodo Tsushin. This question is Mr. Noguchi. And this is the first time 2 Japanese are in the space. When you welcome Miss Yamazaki for the first time, what was your impression or what did you think about her? And do you communicate in Japanese language when you are off duty? I was so happy to tell you the truth because one of my colleagues came to the space, so I was nostalgic and I was really happy to see her in the off-duty time and on-duty time too. The loading and reloading activity was done Japan together. So we were communicating in Japanese language. So I talked a lot of Japanese this time. This is the last Japanese shuttle mission. And what would you like to communicate to the Japanese people, and what would you like to bring back from the space to the Earth? Thank you very much for your question. Let me see. This might be the last Japanese shuttle mission, but the space exploration does not end. So we have infinite potential in the space, and there are a lot of technological development expected. So in the Kibo and all the operation of the ISS can be brought back to the Earth and then taken advantage of to the future space exploration and space development. Thank you.
My name is Sydney Souther, and my question is for Alan Poindexter. How do you prepare your body to get ready to go into space?
That's a really good question, and as you can see, we stay in shape. We work a lot, very, very hard during our pre-flight training period in the gym, doing a lot of physical fitness training, and we have people that help us do that. But it's important to stay fit and always do your exercise, both cardiovascular and muscle training. The environment of space is very hostile, and your body can degrade very rapidly. So we exercise before flight almost every day, and then we exercise during flight to keep our muscles up.
My name is Jordan, and my question is for Dottie Metcalf-Lindenberger. What science-related experiments will be conducted on this mission?
And Jordan, that is a very good question. Obviously, we've come to the International Space Station, which is now a national laboratory, and but on the shuttle, we also do science experiments. One of the experiments that we've brought up is actually to help humans better understand the staph infection MRSA and develop a vaccine for it. And another experiment that we brought up and we brought to station is the Window Observatory Rack facility called WRF. And with that window, which is already part of our lab, now we have a rack where we can do all sorts of optics from visual to near infrared. And so there's all sorts of science up here, but those are just a few of the things that we brought up on STS-131.
My name is Kendra, and my question is for Clay Anderson. What core or elective courses did you have to take in order to be an astronaut?
Kendra, you need to take lots of math and lots of science in order to become an astronaut. Those are the basic fundamentals to be able to fly in space, so good luck.
My name is Seven, and my question is for Stephanie Wilson. What inspired you to become an astronaut?
When I was 13 years old, I was given a school assignment to interview someone that worked in a career field that I was interested in. And at the time, I was interested in astronomy. I went to Williams College, which is very close to my hometown, Pittsfield, Mass. And I interviewed an astronomy professor there. And I talked to him about all of the work that he did. He got to travel around the world and view the heavens from different parts of the world. He was a teacher, so he taught, and he also did observations, and he did research. And I was very interested in the work that he was doing. Later, though, I became more interested in engineering and decided to study engineering in college. But my first interest in space was with astronomy.
My name is Montreal, and my question is for Alan Poindexter. What improvements will you be making to the station while in space?
That's a very, very insightful question. Thank you for taking the time to think about that. As you know, most of the space shuttle missions during the assembly phase of the International Space Station are bringing up major modules and supplies, and that's exactly what we're doing. We brought up 7 racks, and a rack is basically the size of a household refrigerator, and they hold science experiments and research experiments. And we brought up 3 science racks, and we brought up a new sleeping station called a crew quarters for one of the International Space Station crew members. And then we brought up a bunch of supply racks as well. And those racks are installed in the various laboratories around the station, along with all the other supplies we brought up. As you can see, it's a lot of fun to fly in space, too.
My name is Cameron Lovelace, and my question is for Dottie. What do you like about being an astronaut?
Well, you just saw it. I love floating around. That's one of my favorite things that I've been doing since I've been up here. Another one of my favorite things is looking out the window. Last night I got a chance to go to the cupola, which is a brand new facility that STS-130 brought up about a month and a half ago. And the windows allow you to see the Earth in a 360 view, and it's incredible. And we watched all the way down California's coast, down through South America, and then below the tip of South America and into a night pass, and we could see the sunset, and it's way better than television. So I hope that you guys could all do that someday instead of watching television.
My name is Hannah, and my question is for Stephanie Wilson. How do you wash and dry your hair in space?
Very good.
We actually fly a rinseless shampoo, but we do have a way to get water from our galley, which is kind of like a kitchen sink. But so basically you're able to wet your hair and then use this rinseless shampoo and then rinse it again and towel dry. And that usually does a pretty good trip. We kind of consider ourselves to be on a camping trip, and so we don't necessarily have all of the creature comforts that you might have at home, but it works pretty well.
My name is Jacob, and my question is for Clay Anderson. What are the plans for the shuttles once all the missions are complete?
Hey, Jacob, first tell Hannah that Commander Poindexter and I, we don't need near as much water and soap for our hair as the ladies do. But, Jacob, all the shuttles, there are a lot of people competing to have those shuttles placed in museums. So I think for sure Discovery is probably going to go to the Smithsonian in Washington, D.C. or near there, and then the other shuttles are being competed for, and the folks that want to have those shuttles have to pay a lot of money because they have to be able to show NASA that they'll be able to take care of them and keep them looking good.
My name is Dalton, and my question is for Alan. What do you believe is the most important thing we've learned from the space flight?
Well, as you know, a lot of the things that we do now affect people a long time in the future. And when you students are grown and we'll know the full impact probably of what the research that we're doing now on the International Space Station is. But I think one of the most important things that we've learned about spaceflight is that we need to keep doing it. It's important for humans to always explore. And like Lewis and Clark explored the trails to the West Coast, we're now exploring space in low Earth orbit and hopefully soon to different planets. And you can see we also explore new and interesting ways to eat food. And drink water.
My name is Gwenny, and my question is for Dottie. What kind of foods do you get to eat in space?
Well, we brought a couple of examples that I'm going to have people show you here. First of all, we have a fresh food locker, and so we've got some tortillas, but you can bring up apples, oranges, but anything that might only last a couple of days, that goes in our fresh food locker. And tortillas are really handy. You can put eggs in them with hot sauce. You can put peanut butter and honey on them. You can make chicken fajitas, so they're very handy. Another thing that we eat is meals that are kind of like meals ready to eat. They're in a pouch like this. You just heat them up in our galley and just scoop it right out the top. No problem there. We have other foods that you have to hydrate in our galley. This is actually brand check cereal. It's got the milk. I don't think you can see exactly the milk in there, but you add 2 ounces of cold water and wait a few minutes, and voila, you have brand cereal. And I brought this item over. It's one of Stephanie's favorites. Some things just come in a package, and that's a brownie. I think Clay just stole it from Stephanie. But we have all sorts of different types of foods, and it's pretty good. I miss my salads and my vegetables from Earth, but other than that, I'm really happy eating space food.
My name is Anna. My question is for Clay Anderson. What does it feel like to sleep and eat in space?
Sleeping in space for me is very cool. I sleep better in orbit than I do on the Earth, and we have a sleeping bag that's strapped to the wall. So when you actually sleep, your kind of arms float up this way, and you don't snore, which is pretty amazing. And it's very, very relaxing, and it's really good that people don't snore because Commander Poindexter, well, never mind. I won't get into that.
My name is Christian, and my question is for Stephanie. What is the hardest part about your job?
Actually, the hardest part, there's not really a hard part about our job. It really takes a lot of hard work and dedication, study hard in school, and when we come into the astronaut office, we have 2 years of very general training, but it involves a lot of study on the shuttle systems, and so we have very good trainers that prepare us. We are able to work out in our gym facility, and we have trainers that work with us for our workouts. So it's not hard, but it does take a lot of hard work.
My name is Shelby, and my question is for Dottie. Why does the sky look blue on Earth and black in space?
That is a great question, and the reason why is because you have an atmosphere around the Earth, and the atmosphere acts a lot like a prism, and it changes the light that's coming into you, and it reflects it and bends it in different ways so that you get the color of the sky. In space, we don't have atmosphere. It's not completely empty. There are atoms out there, but they're very few and far between, and you don't get the same interaction with the light. So it is dark, dark black. And from our vantage point, it is beautiful to look on Earth's atmosphere around our planet. It's so thin compared to the planet itself, and we really need to take care of it.
My name is Carmen, and my question is for Alan Poindexter. What is it like to look out the new window on the station?
I think the word breathtaking describes it best. It's amazing. You know, the cupola window sits up underneath the new Node 3 module, and when you enter it head first. So you're really, from Earth perspective, you're upside down. And it's like you're hanging down below the space station, and there are windows all the way around you. So just your head and your shoulders are looking out these windows, and there's a window directly above you which directly faces the Earth, and it's amazing. You know, we're traveling at about 5 miles every second, 17,500 miles per hour. So states go by in seconds and continents go by in minutes, and we can fly from the east coast of the United States to Europe in just a few minutes, and you can see thousands of miles, almost 2,000 miles from horizon to horizon. So you can see almost entire continents. It's very, very incredible and breathtaking, again, is the way I would describe it best. I wish everybody could see that view.
My name is Kristen, and my question is for Clay. How does looking at the Earth from that perspective impact or influence you?
Kristen, that's a very thought-provoking question that I've been asked before, and it's an excellent question to ask, because I think if we could get more people on the Earth up into space to see our beautiful planet from here, I don't think we'd fight each other nearly as much. I don't think that it would be so difficult for so many of us to live together. So my hope is that someday more people will get this opportunity, because I think it will change everyone's perspective about how they view our planet and the people on it.
My name is Kayla, and my question is for Stephanie. Do you think that one day will be space stations where anyone, including kids, could live?
Well, I certainly hope so. Right now, we have mostly professional people, professional astronauts flying in space, but it's our hope that this will expand and that we'll be able to have more people, as Clay was mentioning, come into space, and perhaps even one day to include families and so forth. Much like with the airline industry, initially it was professional people flying airplanes, and now people fly airplanes for vacations, and families fly on airplanes. And so I would expect the same to happen for spaceflight.
My name is Tala, and my question is for Alan. What do you do for fun while you're in space?
I think you've seen some of it. We can do just incredible things. You know, it's fun to just float, and it's fun to we were playing. We had a little bit of time off earlier, and I think Mr. Clay has got a baseball, and we were playing baseball inside the space station, and it's really easy to hit balls a long way in space. But it's fun just to float, and it's fun to look out the windows, and it's fun to just spend time with your crewmates.
My name is Brandon, and my question for Dottie, what goes through your mind before, during, and after a launch?
Well, that is an awesome question. Before the launch, we were really focused. We had a little bit of a delay just because of actual cold weather on the East Coast this winter and spring, and so that extra time gave us a little bit more time with our families. But you're just very focused, thinking over the last lessons that you've learned for robotics, for spacewalks, for ascent, and for entry, doing our last simulations. And then once we got on orbit, you have the mindset of, let's really just get this job done and do it very well. And so you find yourself doing, of course, your job, but you also find yourself doing and helping others in jobs that you didn't completely train for, that you were maybe a backup in, but it just makes sense at the time that you do it because you need to get the job done. And you lose all track of time. You don't know which meal you're eating sometimes, because really you're just going from work event to work event to make sure that the mission is carried out successfully. And then when we get back on Earth, our focus is going to turn to passing on any lessons learned that we have, and then of course spending lots of good quality time with our family.
Crew of STS-131, this is Gregory Slate. We would like to thank you on behalf of Eastern Guilford High School students. Please show them a round of applause.
Thank you very much, Wildcats. Thanks very much to the Wildcats at Guilford High School for joining us today on the International Space Station. It was our pleasure, and thanks very much. Study hard and do great in school. We appreciate the time you spent with us. Thanks.